Welcome back, trainers. So, since Niantic has added mythical Pokemon such as Mew to Pokemon Go, we can now start discussing the future of the rest of the mythical Pokemon. So, there's quite a few good ones. My personal favorite is going to be Deoxys and Darkrai. Obviously, they look cool, they're pretty strong, and Dioxis has several forms. It's going to be pretty interesting how that's going to play out as well. And then you have Shaman with the land form and sky form, the little green plant down there. And then Arceus, the Pokemon God. Now, this is going to be crazy to see in Pokemon Go, and very interesting to see if they're going to make the quest much more difficult because, you know, it's so much more special. And this one also has several different forms as well. Well, it's not so much that it can change forms, but it can become any type within the game. In the main series, there's these things called plates with, let's say, steel plate, grass plate, fire plate, fighting plate, anything. You can put that on Arceus one at a time and it will become that type. So it's going to be quite interesting to see how that will play out, if that's even going to be implemented into Pokemon Go. So time will tell. And take note that not all of these Pokemon are going to have stats right now or move sets, because they may have stats and then moves. The stats will probably be right, but the moves are subject to change, as we've seen with Mew. Had one quick move and 3 charge moves, so it changed completely after it was released. So make sure you take note of that. And with that said, let's go ahead and check these out. Alrighty, first one up is going to be Celebi, which is a Psychic and Grass type. CP potential 3090, just like Mew if you get a 100. Alright, and it is weak to quite a few Pokemon. Bug, Dark, Ghost, Fire, Flying, Poison, and Ice. Ouch. Alright, so if we take a look at its stats here, attack 210, defense 210, and stamina 200. Just like Mew. And it says the buddy distance is 5 kilometers. So you cannot take all of this as real information. I'm just going to kind of give you a little bit of visual here to play with. And then once it's released, you know, everything is going to change. I mean, with Mew, what do we think its charge moves were going to be? We thought it's going to have like 4 or something, and then it ends up having like a ton of them, like a lot, which it should. It makes perfect sense. So anyways, here we have Celebi. Very nice. All right, let's go ahead and check out the next possible mythical Pokemon coming after Celebi. Okay, so we have Jirachi here, Steel and Psychic type. That is actually very good. Only weak to Ground, Fire, Dark, and Ghost. 4 types, that's okay. CP potential looking like Mew and Celebi over there. So we have same attack, 210, 210, and then stamina, 200. So like I said, all of the stats, that stuff can be taken with a grain of salt. It's probably going to be changed. But then again, Jirachi, Celebi, and Mew were all kind of the same stat range within the game as well. Alright, so as far as its moves go, what do they have here? I mean, Confusion, Dazzling Gleam, and Confusion, Doom Desire. Doom Desire is very realistic because it does learn that move. I can't wait till they start introducing signature moves for specific Pokemon, Groudon, Kyogre. I mean, I'm wondering when they're going to do that. So we'll just have to wait and see. So there you have it, Jirachi. A very neat Pokemon. Steel is always a very nice option. So we'll just have to wait and see what the future holds for this little one here. Let's go ahead and jump into the next one, shall we? Okay, so on to the next one here. We have Dioxis, which is a pure Psychic type. This is an extremely awesome Pokemon because it does have 3 different forms: attack, speed, and defense. And then its normal form, I guess you can count that, so 4. So I'm really curious to see how they're going to implement all of that within Pokemon Go. Maybe depending upon your IV. I don't know, but we'll just have to wait and see. Not too much can be said here about Deoxys, except for it is going to be massive strong. Now I'm curious too, are they gonna make this a mythical quest? Because you do fight Deoxys in the main game, so if they did make this some sort of EX raid or legendary raid for everybody, that would be very amazing. But we'll just have to wait and see because it is categorized under mythical. So we'll just have to wait for the future and see what happens. Okay, so up next we have Manaphy, which is a pure water type. Max CP potential 3090. Now, like I said, all of these stats could be all wrong and change, but we're just taking a look to see what's gonna come in the form of Mythical in the future, okay? So, Manaphy, to be honest with you, this is cute Pokemon, cute little Pokemon. I was never interested in it, to be honest. I just went straight to Darkrai. So it's weak to Electric and Grass type. I'm not gonna, I guess we can take a look at its stats. I mean, it's all staying the same here like Mew, but we'll just have to see. Maybe they're going to be like that. As far as moves go, there is none. Because this is, like I said, so far into the future, we have no idea what is really going to hold for us when it comes down to these Pokemon. So, there you have it, Manaphy. Let's go ahead and see what the next one is going to be. Okay, now we have Darkrai. This is probably going to be one of my favorite types. Now, I do believe the stats on here are not quite right. Max CP potential 3,404. Weak to Bug, Fairy, and Flying type because it is solely a Dark type. And as we see here, attack 285, defense 198, and stamina 140. As far as its moves go, I don't think they... let's see, there's not much here because, you know, this is so far into the future. What do we know, really, other than just calculating its base stats within the main series games to see what its CP potential can be within Pokemon Go. So there you have it, Darkrai, and these are going in order, possibly. I would hope Niantic goes in order by, you know, generation. It would only make sense. So with that said, let's go ahead and check out the next mythical Pokemon. Okay, so up next is Shaman. This is land form. It does have a sky form as well. I'm not going to get too much into detail with this little Pokemon here. Weak to Bug, Fire, Flying, Poison, and Ice because it is solely a grass type. So we'll have to wait and see what the future holds for us when it comes down to this little thing here. Now, on to the main event. Okay, main event. Arceus, the literal god of Pokemon. That's how Nintendo described it within their games. So let's go ahead and check this out here. Max CP potential of 4,598 that's very believable. It should be on the top. It should be on the very top. If it doesn't pass slacking, that's going to be absurd. All right. So it is a normal type without any of the plates that I was describing earlier. So yes, it can become any type. Given these plates. So Pokemon Go has a lot of work ahead of them if they're going to be implementing these kind of details within the game to make it, you know, more like, I'm going to say like the main series game, but just to give it more of variety because it can be any type. And if I did pick a type, I wouldn't stick with just one or another, depending on its move pool. I have a feeling that this one right here is going to be learning a massive amount of moves. Just like Mew. It's not like that, but it does learn a bunch of moves, okay? But anyways, alright, so there we go. It has a move called, I do believe it's like Judgment Day. That just completely destroys everything. What do they say its attack's going to be? Attack 268, I'm sorry, 262, defense 262, and stamina 240. Huh. So that's good. That sounds about right. So there you have it, folks. The future of mythical Pokemon. I mean, we can keep going down the line. We have Victini next, right? Victini, it's a fire psychic Pokemon, or should I say psychic of fire, with the CP potential of just like Mew, Celebi, Manaphy, and the rest of those little mythical Pokemon. Weak to Dark, Ghost, Rock, Ground, and Water types. Victini, I forgot what its signature move was, V something, and it's, you know, fairly strong. It's as you can see from the V on its forehead, it shoots from that. So anyways, there you have it, folks. I hope you enjoyed this video as to the mythicals to come. Like I said, I didn't want to get too much into details of their stats. We just taking a look at GoHub's information here, because if we did, I don't want to be putting out misinformation, because you know how Mew, everything basically changed. Its stats were the same, but its moves were not. So let's just do one more. Keldeo, which is a Generation 5 mythical Pokemon. a water and fighting type. It does have another form. Max CP potential, possibly 3068. Weak to electric, grass, fairy, flying, and psychic. I really like this Pokemon because I'm a personal fan of fighting type Pokemon. Always have been. They're just very relevant within the main series game as well. We have an attack of 260, defense 192, and stamina 182. All right. And of course, there's not going to be any moves here. So yes, like I said, it does have another form. There's its shiny there variants. And I'm wondering if we'll ever see shiny mythical Pokemon. That's just going to be insane if you ever find one of those. So there we have it. Cute little My Little Pony, basically. Kicking around there. Alright, so I hope you enjoyed this list, everybody. So thank you for watching, and I'll be catching you all next time. Take care.